Today, I'm going to talk about my response to this thought experiment about love, identity, and commitment. In this scenario, I'm in a happy long term marriage, but after a tragic accident, my spouse arrives only through a brain transplant into another person's body, which we know is the opposite sex. Even though their body changes, their memories, personality, and consciousness stay the same, the main question is whether I would stay with them or leave. My answer is that I would stay and try to adjust. Because to me, they would still be the same person. And I'm going to explain what that says about my view of love, the kind of person I would be in this situation, and how it connects to Arthur Schopenhauer's theory of romantic love. My reaction to the situation would honestly be shock, sadness, and confusion at first. I think anyone would feel that way. The person I love would suddenly look completely different, and our whole life would change in 1 second. I would probably be like an emotional wreck because I almost lost them, and at the same time, I would feel grateful they are still alive in some way. If they still remembered me, knew me, and were mentally the same person, then I would feel like I did not lose them completely. I would most likely stay and try to adjust with them. I would not make a fast decision just because their body changed. I think that would be completely unfair and based only on panic. I would give both of us time to process everything, heal emotionally, and figure out how we're going to move forward together. It would be hard, and I know there would be a lot of uncomfortable moments, but I would at least try before giving up on someone I love. Because this scenario uses John Locke's idea of personal identity. The same person continues through memory, consciousness, and self awareness. So, if my spouse woke up and still had the same memories, personality, humor, values, and love for our family, then to me they are still the same person. They would still remember our relationship, our marriage, our kids, our fights, our happiest moments, and everything we built together. That matters more to me than only the body changing. This situation really makes people think whether they love the person or just the body. A lot of people mix those things together without realizing it. We usually connect the person we love with how they look, how they sound, and how they physically appear. That is normal because bodies are part of relationships too. But this question challenges that and asks what really matters most when everything external changes. I also want to be honest and say attraction is a part of love. Physical attraction matters in relationships. It helps with chemistry, intimacy, desire, and connection. I do not think it is wrong or shallow to admit that. I think pretending attraction does not matter at all would be fake. But I also do not think attraction is the whole relationship, especially in marriage where people built a whole life together over the years. If I was only with someone for a short time, maybe my answer would be different because the relationship wouldn't have the same depth yet. But in this example, we are married, still in love, and have kids together. We built trust, memories, routines, support, and a family. We probably helped each other through stressful times already. That means the relationship is deeper than looks alone. Because of that, I would feel wrong leaving right away only because of a physical change. My philosophical defense is that a person should be valued as a person, not only for their body. If I said I loved them for their personality, values, humor, loyalty, kindness, and the life we shared, then those things would still be there. Leaving only because they look different would make it seem like looks mattered more than who they really are. I think people deserve to be loved as human beings, not treated like they lose all value when appearance changes. I also think commitment matters. In marriage, people promise to stay together through hard times. This would be an extreme situation, but commitment only means something when life gets difficult. Anyone can stay when everything is easy and comfortable, The real test of commitment is what happens when life becomes painful, stressful, or unexpected, like this situation. If someone leaves the second things change, then the commitment was weak from the start. Another part of my defense is empathy. If this happened to me, I would hope the person who loved me would at least try to stay and understand what I was going through. My spouse in this scenario would probably be scared, grieving, confused, and trying to understand their own identity. They would need my support more than ever, and I think love should include empathy, especially when someone is vulnerable. My response shows that I try to be loyal, caring, and committed. It also shows I value emotional connection and history with someone. I do not think relationships should be disposable when life gets hard. At the same time, I am being realistic because I know it would not be easy. There would be grief, confusion, frustration, and a lot of adjustment for both of us. There would probably be changes in intimacy too. We would both have to learn a new normal. Maybe attraction would feel different at first. Maybe it would take time to reconnect physically and emotionally. Maybe both of us would feel awkward or insecure. But I think real love is not about everything always being easy. Real love is about choosing each other and putting in effort when things get hard. This also connects to marriage vows, like for better or worse, or sickness and in health. A lot of people say those words, but situations like this test if they really mean them. It is easy to say vows on a happy wedding day. It is harder to live by them when life becomes painful. I would want my vows to mean something real, not only when life is comfortable or convenient. This situation also makes people honest with themselves. Many people say they love someone for their heart, personality, and soul, but if they leave right away after the body changes, then maybe they have to question what they really love the most. Attraction matters, but it should not erase everything else that was built over time. When it comes to author Schopenhauer, I think he's partly right, but not fully right. He believed romantic love is strongly based on biology, reproduction, and physical desire. I think that is partly true because attraction definitely plays a role in relationships. A lot of people are first drawn to someone because of physical attraction before they know anything deeper. But I do not think that explains everything. If I would still stay after this happened, then love can become more than biology. Love can become loyalty, companionship, trust, memory, sacrifice, and choosing someone even when life changes. That means a lot more than biology. I think Schopenhauer is stronger when explaining the beginning stages of love than the later stages. In the beginning, people may be driven more by attraction and desire, but after years together, after children, shared struggles, and emotional bonding, love can become something deeper and more personal. It becomes tied to shared meaning and commitment. This hypothetically also shows that love can be both conditional and unconditional. Love should be conditional in some ways, like needing respect, trust, and safety. No one should stay in an abusive or toxic relationship just to prove loyalty. But love can also be unconditional in some sense that normal life changes, illness, aging, or appearance changes should not automatically end it. So, my final answer is that I would stay and try to adjust. I cannot say it would be easy. I cannot pretend attraction would not matter at all. It does matter, but it would not matter more than the whole life we created together. We created a whole foundation together. Marriage, memories, kids, struggle, growth, and years together do not disappear because of one accident. I would want to honor that foundation and try to move forward with them. I would want to support them while they learn their new reality, and I would hope we could rebuild our relationship in a new form together. To me, that is what love would mean in this situation. Love is not only liking someone when everything stays the same. Love is choosing someone, valuing them as a person, and trying to grow with them even when life changes in ways you would never expect.